Hey folks, welcome back to My Kitten Reads. I'm Eleanor and this is a really quick January wrap up. I read 10 things, but I'm probably not going to talk about them in detail because I'm getting a bit of a sick headache. And I already didn't manage to do this on the weekend, so I just want to get it done really quickly. But yes, I read 10 things in January. The first thing that I read was a graphic novel, and that was Asterix Omnibus number 4, which includes Asterix the Legionary, Asterix and the Chieftain's Shield, and Asterix at the Olympic Games. I do love me a good Asterix comics. I enjoyed them as kids, and as an adult, the wordplay amuses me greatly. So yeah, I read that. I started the year with that. Then we go through a whole slew of electronic books. So I did a lot of reading of non-fiction as planned, including via audio, but also via ebook. So I finally finished reading Georgette Heyer's Regency World by Jennifer Klester. I started reading this actually for university as part of my essay research last year, but only read the bit at the time that was relevant to what I wanted. But I finished it off, so that was Regency. Then I continued on the Regency with an audiobook, and that was Mad and Bad, Real Heroines of the Regency by Bay Kosh. So that was very much grouped into chapters on specific topics about real women of the Regency. So things like the Lady Patronesses of Almack's, the ladies of the royal family, but also things like queer women and artists and scientists and all that kind of stuff as well. So that was really interesting. I really enjoyed that one actually. Then I went on a little bit of an Austen variation kick. I did not include them all in my list because some of them I have read very recently. So I only really included the ones that I wasn't hugely familiar with, that were rereads, but I couldn't actually remember the plots. So that was Follies and Nonsense by Martin Honeycutt, Saving Jane by Martin Honeycutt, and A Matchmaking Mother by Jan Roland. So I won't go into detail with them. I've talked about them all before. Then there was another audiobook that was non-fiction, and that was The Duchess, formerly known as Georgiana, the Duchess of Devonshire, a biography by Amanda Foreman. I enjoyed it to a point, but there was a lot of stress and anxiety about gambling and gambling debts, and there was a lot of detail, and I wasn't all that particularly interested in that particular side of things, but it was still a really interesting read. Then I read Death in Dalesford by Kerry Greenwood. This is the newly published Phryne Fisher novel. I thought I was finished with Phryne Fisher. I was not finished with Phryne Fisher. Now I am again finished with Phryne Fisher. I'm up to date on the series, so yay. But this was a whole lot of fun. I really enjoyed it. I think I can see Kerry Greenwood's handling of certain issues has matured. In particular, the fact that she actually referenced the location of Dalesford and the springs there as being formerly occupied by women's business for Indigenous people, for Aboriginal women, and it literally referred to it as a dispossession. So that kind of struck me as a more mature way of handling things. So I definitely enjoyed Death in Dalesford. Then I finished off Without a Summer by Mary Robinette Kowal, which is the third of the Glamorous Histories novels. I managed to do that mostly while at the gym, but I ended up finishing it off by itself because I kept losing track of where I was in my runs because I kept hitting the crisis points. So that was fun. I really enjoyed that. Although, wow, legal case, kind of tense. I'm actually, I've bought the next one, but I'm a bit worried about how I'm going to handle the tension. So, yeah. And then I finished off the month with re-listening to The Green Mill Murder by Kerry Greenwood, which is one of the earlier Phryne Fisher books, which I picked that one up because I reread the first few via audio last year, and this was the one that I was up to when I stopped. So I was in a Phryne Fisher mood, so I just reread that one Green Mill Murder. So that was what I read in January. I'm already doing, I think, quite well in February. So we'll see how I go, and I'll see you all soon. Bye.